You curious about Telegram, huh? Seems like it's everywhere these days. What's all the buzz about? Is it really the WhatsApp killer everyone's saying it is?
Right. Everyone wants to know.
Well, you've come to the right place. Today we're doing a deep dive, straight to the source, checking out Telegram's own FAQs to get the real deal.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Exactly.
And, from their FAQs, Telegram is like more than just a simple messaging app. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
They're really pushing this whole privacy thing. Speed, security. Like those are their big things, apparently, all wrapped up in this cloud-based platform, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, the numbers are pretty impressive.
Yeah, what are we talking user-wise?
Over 950 million active users
Whoa.
globally, which puts Telegram like solidly in the top 5 most downloaded apps, period.
Wow. 950 million, that's a lot of people. Clearly, it's not just hype. People are actually using this thing. What are they using it for, though? Is it just like your typical messaging group chats, or is there something more to it?
Well, I mean, they've got all the basics covered, right?
Right.
Like messaging, sharing files. You can even share ginormous files, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
And then group chats.
Yeah.
They can hold, get this, up to 200,000 people. That's insane.
200,000 people, that's like a small city.
Pretty much. But, where Telegram really seems to be trying to set themselves apart, especially from like their main competition, WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah.
Is how they're approaching privacy and then like all these kind of unique features that they offer.
Okay, so they're like directly calling out the competition. Sounds like they're not afraid of a little rivalry.
Right.
So what are some of these big differences? What are they highlighting?
Well, for one thing, Telegram is entirely cloud-based.
Okay.
So what does that mean for the average user, right?
Yeah, what does that mean for me?
You can access your messages from literally any device. Anywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
You could switch phones, and you don't have to worry about losing your whole chat history.
Right, yeah, that's always a pain.
Totally. And another perk, especially if you're like me,
Yeah.
a total digital hoarder, no storage limits.
Oh, come on.
All your media lives in the cloud.
That's amazing.
Frees up all that space on your phone.
My phone storage is like constantly on the verge of a meltdown, so that is music to my ears. But okay, it sounds like it goes even beyond just cloud storage.
Right.
I hear about secret chats and like collectible usernames. It's like they're mixing like a spy thriller with a collectible card game.
A very unique combination.
Yeah. So, okay, the secret chats, are they actually what they sound like?
Pretty much. We're
Yes.
talking end-to-end encryption. So only you and the person you're talking to can read those messages.
Not even Telegram can see them.
Nope. And get this, to make it even more secret, agent, you can actually set those messages to like self-destruct after a certain amount of time.
Oh, wow.
Like something at a mission impossible.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty cool. What about the collectible usernames, though? That sounds like it's straight out of the metaverse or something.
Yeah, so basically you can own like a unique piece of Telegram.
Okay.
Like imagine having a username that's not just yours to use, but you can actually like buy, sell it, trade it, kind of like a domain name.
Huh. So that's like a whole other layer of Telegram, like a marketplace for usernames. That's kind of interesting. But all this talk about privacy and security, it makes you wonder, how secure is Telegram really?
Right.
Can they back it up?
Well, they're certainly putting their money where their mouth is, I'll tell you that. Telegram has a $300,000 bounty out for anybody who can hack their encryption.
Whoa.
That's a pretty big claim right there.
Yeah, they're basically daring people to hack them.
Yeah, but even beyond that, they use, get this, 2 layers of encryption.
2 layers.
They use server-client encryption for, your standard chats, but then they use client encryption for those super secret chats.
Okay, 2 layers of encryption. That sounds intense. So
Yeah.
even if somehow somebody was able to access Telegram servers, they still wouldn't be able to read my secret chat messages.
Exactly. Those messages, they're like locked safes,
Okay.
and only you and the recipient have the key.
Gotcha.
Now, the standard cloud chats, they are still encrypted on Telegram servers, but Telegram does have access to the encryption keys in that instance.
I see. So it's like super secure for those like ultra private conversations.
Right.
But what about just like everyday use? Are there security concerns that like someone who's new to Telegram should like watch out for?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that often comes up is the potential for illegal content.
Right.
Telegram, they're very pro free speech,
Yeah.
but they do have these mechanisms in place where you can like report illegal activity. So if you see, I don't know, terrorism-related stuff or copyright infringement kind of things, you can report that.
Right, of course, yeah.
It's a tough balance, though, right? Trying to walk that line between free speech and then moderating the content, it's tough.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of potentially risky things, though, how does Telegram handle bots? Because I know, like, I've heard they can be super useful,
Yeah.
but then also kind of concerning when it comes to security, you know?
You're right. Telegram has a huge, like, ecosystem of bots.
Yeah.
They can do all sorts of things, automate tasks, you can have some fun with them, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
But it's one of those things where you got to remember, not all bots are created equal. Some are developed by, these trusted sources and all that, and then others, could potentially be malicious.
Right. So how can you tell if a bot is safe? I mean, I'm having flashbacks to like my early internet days,
Right.
like cautiously navigating chat rooms,
Yeah, totally. That's a good instinct, though.
Okay.
You always want to be cautious, especially online.
Yeah.
Like one thing you can do is before you add a bot, like to a group chat or especially before you share any personal information with it,
Yeah.
check the permissions.
Okay, yeah.
Telegram's pretty good about like clearly showing you what a bot can and can't access.
Oh, that's good.
Like, can it see your messages? Can it see your contacts? That sort of thing. And honestly, when it comes to bots, I'd say just always err on the side of caution, especially if you're dealing with sensitive stuff. You know what I mean? Better safe than sorry.
Right, 100%.
100%, yeah. You got to be careful out there in the digital world, right?
For sure.
Now, before we move on, you might be thinking like, okay, what if I lose my phone or I break it?
Right.
Am I going to lose all my Telegram conversations?
Yeah, that's a good question. That would be tragic. All those memes, all those important messages, gone.
Well, the good news is, because your chats are mostly stored in the cloud, right?
Right.
They're not tied to your device.
Yeah.
So you can log into your Telegram account on a new phone, on your computer, whatever,
Oh, okay.
and just pick up right where you left off.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What about the secret chats, though?
Yeah.
Those aren't stored on Telegram servers, right? So if my phone goes down, are those just gone?
Yeah, that's the trade-off with secret chats. They're like ultra private,
Right.
but it means they're only stored on your device and the other person's. So if you lose your phone, those messages, they're gone, baby. Gone.
So it's a balance then, right, between having that extreme privacy for
Yeah.
certain conversations versus the convenience of like having everything backed up in the cloud.
Exactly.
So it's cool that Telegram gives you that choice.
Right.
Speaking of choices, though, let's go back to those collectible usernames for a second.
Yeah.
How does that even work? Like, is it an auction thing? Are we talking like bidding wars for these usernames? What's the deal?
So it's actually a bit simpler than you might think. Telegram has partnered with this platform. It's called Fragment.
Okay.
And it's basically a marketplace, right?
Right.
Users can list usernames that they own, set a price,
Okay.
and then, other people can browse. And if they see one they like, they can buy it.
So it's like a digital auction house, but just for usernames?
Pretty much.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
I bet it gets pretty competitive though, right? Like for those like really, really good usernames.
Oh, absolutely. Those short, like catchy ones, the ones that are easy to remember,
Yeah.
those are in high demand.
Yeah.
Those can go for a lot of money.
That's wild. So you could like invest in a Telegram username almost?
Kind of, yeah.
Like digital real estate?
It's a whole new world.
That's crazy. Speaking of investments, though, let's talk about investing in your Telegram account security for a bit.
Right, right.
We talked about two-factor authentication a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Can you remind us again, what exactly is two-factor authentication and why is it so important?
Sure. So two-factor authentication, think of it like an extra layer of security on top of your password.
Okay.
When you have it turned on, it means that to log in, you need two things.
Right.
You need your password, obviously,
Yeah.
but then you also need this special code, and that gets sent to your phone, usually like through an app or a text.
Okay, so even if somebody like got a hold of my password somehow, they still couldn't get into my account without that code.
Exactly. It just makes it way harder for like hackers or, bad actors to get in.
That's good. That's good.
And, when we're talking about security and all that,
Yeah.
what happens if your phone actually does get stolen?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's like a worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, but it's good to like talk about it just in case. So let's say my phone, it's gone. What do we
Okay, so first things first, the second you realize, okay, my phone is gone,
Right.
call your mobile provider. Like immediately.
Okay.
They can deactivate your SIM card,
Right.
which is like your first line of defense. You know?
Okay, yeah. So that stops anyone from being able to use my phone number.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the Telegram account itself, though? Can somebody, like, get into that with just my phone number, even with a new SIM card?
That's where the two-factor authentication comes in clutch.
Okay.
If you have that turned on, they're not getting in, even with your phone number.
Right, because they need that code.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
need that code. See, this is why, we always say two-factor authentication, turn it on, people.
It's like your digital bodyguard?
Pretty much.
Okay, so I did everything right. I have two-factor on. I called my phone provider. But somehow, some way, somebody gets into my Telegram account. Maybe they had access to my phone before I could do all that. What can I do to, like, minimize the damage?
Okay, first, don't panic.
Okay.
Telegram has this feature. It's called Active Sessions.
Okay.
It basically shows you all the devices that are currently logged into your account.
Oh, okay.
So if you see your stolen phone on that list, you can remotely log out of that session right then and there.
Wow, so you can, like, kick them out?
Exactly. You're like, get out of my account.
That's amazing.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
And then, of course, once you've done that, change your password,
Right.
like immediately. And I would also say, if you're already changing your Telegram password, you might as well go ahead and change your passwords for everything else.
Yeah.
Your email, your social media, all that, just to be safe.
Yeah, good point. Like a digital reset.
Exactly.
Clean slate.
Start fresh.
Oh. Okay, so we talked about the big, scary stuff. What about just like common, everyday issues, things that people run into with Telegram?
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised how often it's like the simplest things.
Really?
One of the biggest complaints we hear about is notifications.
Oh, yeah, the notifications.
People are like, my notifications aren't coming through.
Ugh, yeah, it's so annoying. Like,
Oh.
I've missed important messages because my notifications just decided to, like, take a break. What's up with that? What can you do?
Seriously, it's like they have a mind of their own sometimes.
Right. 1 minute they're there, the next, poof, gone. So what's the trick? How do you wrangle these Telegram notifications?
It's usually way less complicated than people think.
Hey.
Honestly, a lot of the time, it's something super simple, like, did you accidentally mute the chat?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you have notifications turned off in the app settings,
Right?
So, like, first things first, double check. Make sure you didn't accidentally silence the chat.
Yeah, the good old did I mute this? It gets me every time. But what about when you've checked all that and the notifications still aren't coming through? Like they're just gone.
Okay, so in those cases, it could be your phone's battery settings messing with things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of phones have these, like, power-saving features, right?
Right.
And they can actually block notifications from apps you don't use very often.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good idea to check if Telegram is, like, whitelisted in those settings, make sure it's allowed to do its thing in the background.
It's like your phone's putting Telegram in timeout. You haven't used this in a while.
Yeah,
You're cut off. Okay, so notifications, check. What about contacts? Because sometimes I feel like Telegram is like its own little island, like separate from my actual contacts.
Right.
Any tips on how to get those to like play nicely together?
Yeah, syncing your contacts, it can be a little weird sometimes, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
One thing that seems to work, it's kind of a weird trick,
Okay.
but try this. Add, like, a special character or something to a contact's name in your phone's contact list.
Okay.
And then, like, just change it back.
Okay.
It's dumb, but sometimes that little change will force Telegram to, like, refresh its contact list.
The old turn it off and on again approach.
Exactly.
Love it. It works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, but I want to circle back to the secret chats one last time. Since those messages like disappear,
Right.
how do I know they're actually gone?
That's a good question, right?
Yeah, because it's like, are they really gone?
Right.
Or are they just like hiding somewhere?
So this is where Telegram's whole open source thing is kind of a big deal.
Right.
So they've made the code for their apps, like the ones you use on your phone, your computer. They've made all that public.
So anybody can see it.
Yeah. Well, anyone who knows how to read code, which maybe not everybody.
Right.
But the point is, it's all out in the open.
So like if I were a super techie person, I could like go through that code and be like, okay, this is how secret chats work. They're really gone.
Exactly. They're not hiding anything. And that's a big part of how they're trying to build trust.
Right? Transparency.
Exactly. Now, they haven't released the server code.
Oh, okay.
They say that would, like, compromise the security of the whole system.
That makes sense.
But still, the fact that they're like, here's all the code for the apps you use, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, it shows they're willing to be open, which is good. Okay, so as we're wrapping up here, what are some key things you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the biggest thing is Telegram. It's a really cool tool. It can do a lot.
Yeah.
But like any tool, you got to know how to use it safely.
Right.
And you got to be aware of like what it can and can't do. Like they're big on privacy. They've put a lot of work into security, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's always good to be informed, right?
Right. Be smart. Don't just trust everything blindly.
Exactly.
All right. Awesome. Well, we covered so much ground today. We talked about everything from like secret self-destructing messages to like
Collectible username.
you can buy and sell usernames. It's crazy.
It's wild.
Telegram is like pushing the boundaries of what a messaging app can even be.
For sure. Who knows what they'll come up with next?
Seriously. But hey, if you're listening to this, hopefully you have a better idea of what Telegram is all about now. So go forth and explore. Just remember what we talked about. Be safe, have fun, and until next time.
Happy chatting.
Happy chatting.